Good afternoon, this is Amanda Cardosi with Greenhawks Media. Professor of Botany here at Miami University, Dr. Alfredo Huerta, has been working on a project located at the Ecology Research Center. The center is located just outside of Oxford on Somerville Road. Huerta, along with undergraduate student Aaron Legale, has been experimenting with a group of plants. These particular plants have gone seemingly untouched for the past 25 years.
So we were interested in learning a little more about some plants that are growing there, because it turns out that about 25 years ago there was a researcher at Miami who established some field plots out there. Over a period of 12 years, that researcher and his workers applied municipal waste sludge to some plots and left other plots as controls. And what municipal waste sludge is what comes out of the city sewer. Basically, you take that city sewer water, it goes through the water treatment plant, and after disinfection and cleaning it out, there are solids that come out, and the solids are dried, and then you end up with this material called municipal waste sludge.
This research project focuses on the effects of applying something known as municipal waste sludge to fertilize the plants. Huerta and Legale applied what they knew from the previous experiment in an attempt to gather new evidence for understanding. They are trying to uncover the consequences of this process to the plants and the environment around them.
Municipal waste sludge can contain high concentrations of certain toxic heavy metals, depending on the industries that are there. Which means that the municipal waste sludge that's produced by those places that people use as a soil amendment for agriculture can contaminate those soils. So that research from 30 years ago or so, they established some plots where every single year they treated those plots with that sludge. Mm-hmm. And then they got their data, they did their research, and at the end of 11 years, that was the end of it. But those plots are still there. So this undergrad student and I were interested in looking at the long-term implications of that sludge. First of all, are the heavy metals that were in that sludge, are they still there? Have they leached out with the rain, or are they still in the soil? And if they're in the soil, then how much of the heavy metals that were applied in the sludge are getting into the plants that are growing there? And if they're getting those toxic heavy metals are getting into the plants, are those metals having any significant effect on the toxicity, on say, physiological parameters in the plants, like reducing photosynthesis or modifying something about the plant? And we found some very interesting results. So based on those results, we are right now in the process of writing out those results for publication. And we're going to present those results at the International Botanical Congress in Australia next summer.
Huerta expresses what his research actually means to him by saying that he just loves what he does. Huerta prides himself on his studies about plants, but explains that he is interested in much more than that.
I just love to think about the kinds of things that I'm working on, and understanding plants, and working at the interface between plant biology, and throw in some physics, and throw in some chemistry, and throw in some biochemistry, and throw in a few other things there, and a little bit of society and a little bit of environment, and it all kind of mixes in together. And all that together, mixes into this mishmash of what I like to study.
He has multiple research projects in progress and is constantly studying the different aspects of the plants in those areas.
I have research projects in California, where my wife, also being a botanist, we go together and we study some populations of some wildflowers that exist in different places in California, to understand something about their adaptation to the environment, and what's going on in terms of their diversity and how they're surviving and coping with the environment in which they're growing. I also have research projects in Mexico. So it's just a lot of fun to go out there in the middle of nowhere in a desert and study these plants, use computers and instrumentation and attach them on these plants and figure out what they're doing and how they're surviving.
Huerta's passions clearly lie in his ability to study the environment around him. With Greenhawks Media, this was Mandy Cardosi.